Yes, 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 yes. This is what I love. It was bright and sunny yesterday, and it's overcast, a little, well, it's not chilly, it's a little cooler today, and I'm going to take advantage of that. Alright, so we got the cab cut off the old truck yesterday, so today we're going to try to cut this cab apart. First thing I got to do is I got to get the windshield out, and I went to Harbor Freight and I got this windshield removal kit, and I know the proper ways to get out a windshield. This is actually a urethane in windshield instead of that butyl or whatever they call it, because it looks like it had a new windshield put in it at one time. I don't have the windshield removal tools per se, the proper ones like professionals use. I've seen this on the shelf, and we're just gonna give it a try. I mean, if I can get that windshield out, it'd be great if I don't break it, but if it breaks, oh well. I mean, it is what it is, but let's give it a try. Okay, I didn't realize it was a consumable cable, and I undid all zip ties and it just went everywhere. Jeez. I did not think that was going to happen. I was almost certain it was going to break, but I did have a little bit of advantage. I thought it was urethaned in, but it had the old butyl whatever it's called, holding that windshield in, so it made it a whole lot easier. The sun is out, it's beating on it. It just totally worked to my advantage. So there we go. Woo. So now what we got to work on is we need to detrim the interior. Got the headliner out, all this plastic trim, all that stuff needs to come out of this thing, the seat, and probably the rubber mat. So next step. Trimmed. Oh boy, I tell you what, this thing, honestly, the floor is not as perfect as I thought. It's not horrible. There is some rust, but there's not any rust holes. But I had a little higher hopes for this cab because it was really nice on the outside, but oh well. As I was pointing out in the last video, that these cabs are different. See, there's no way this engine would fit in that cab the way it was off an F-350. It just protrudes too much into the cabin area. I don't think that transmission tunnel would clear that valve cover. It might, but even if it did, it would be a nightmare to do some service work on this thing. All right, we are almost to cut time on this thing. Now I got to do some more precise measuring, and we just can't go wild with a saw. So right in here, I'm going to use this piece right here as a reference, and I'm probably just going to cut it off flush with this, mark it all the way around where it's going to be good and flush, so I get a good even cut. And then I'll do the same thing I cut below that on the other cab on purpose, and I'll have to do the same thing. Now if we don't get it completely even around here, it's not that big of a deal, as long as it's not too long and it's putting it in a bind to make the overall pillar too long, we're good. If it's just slightly short, you know, maybe up to like a 1/4 inch, we're fine, because I'm just going to sleeve this. Just do an old school sleeve, and that will be filled with body filler after it's all welded up and done. Now, doing some figuring on these floors, these seat bolt holes are actually in the same location on both cabs. Like they're, yeah, very similar. And I think the front part of this hump is almost as similar. So I think I could kind of go in maybe an inch behind, and then just all the way across. I think I can just whoosh, all the way, and then I could kind of overlap it maybe like an inch, and then it will see if I could get this piece to kind of mate with the other, and might have to do some hammer and dolly, but that's just what we have to do. All right, so I pretty much got it all marked out on both sides, and Sawzall is probably not the best choice, but I'm going to use it just to do this, and then I'm going to use the grinding wheel to go make more a straight and precise cut here. Here, I just want to do this as easy as possible, but I'm going to cut it right here where this pillar piece meets. You know, technically in the body shop world, you shouldn't use this as a reference, and or just a direct reference and cut directly on it, but there's one of those stupid wasps. But back to this, I'm just going to cut it, and I'm going to sleeve it here on the rocker, and then come up here, and then I'm just going to make it to where I can basically come back, and I'm going to do an overlap on the pan itself. And I really need a die grinder. I don't have any cutting wheels, and I just don't feel like leaving to go to the store, so I guess I'm just going to use the Sawzall. So I kind of got it marked up where I need to cut it, and let's try the Sawzall. Okay, wow, that was totally something I didn't want to happen. I dropped it a little bit. I was so super afraid I busted something on the dash, but I got really lucky. Nothing happened. Our GoPro's all charged back up, and I got the cab all trimmed out and cut up where it needs to be. Now I am kind of just winging it. I know how to do a good job, but you know, this is just not gonna be a any kind of show truck or anything. Yes, this is gonna be a backyard hack job, but at least I know enough how to make it safe. And well, last, I don't know. So yes, I do have some pretty good rust right here, which I'm gonna have to go back and fix. And I got it cut along this beam right here, like just perfectly along this beam. And what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping I can overlap the floor from the blue truck into this one. I'm hoping to slide right over this, and then there's this brace right here, and I'm hoping that will go down and butt up to the beam, and then the floor will slide right into there. And yeah, I sawed my brake lines in half, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh, hack. So now let's see what happens. I'm gonna take the excavator, we're gonna lift the cab, and I'm gonna bring it over here and see if we can get it to mate. I'm not gonna build any of the sleeves yet or anything because I just really don't know where I'm at with it. So we're gonna do this and see what happens. Oh, and this is gonna be incredibly fun for me to do it by myself. I really need some help over here, but I don't feel like bothering anybody. Yes, this is what I love about doing this kind of stuff, is it just the visualization of the results. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man. Oh, whew. The other side needs a little bit more attention. Got it kind of vice gripped up there on the windshield posts. I gotta kind of pull it back apart to do some sleeves and do some prep work. Man, there you go, a 4-door F-700 with a flatbed. I'm so freaking excited. I just love the way it looks. I already can imagine driving it. Oh man, but man, this was a lot of work. I'm gonna stop here for the day. There's still a lot more work that needs to be done. I mean, I'm just kind of pre-fitting everything, seeing how it fits. And yes, this is kind of a backyard hack job, but it's just an old truck. Come on, guys, don't criticize me too bad on this. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now you kind of got what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna go in the house and eat some pizza. I'll see you guys some other time, maybe in a couple weeks.